Hi, everybody. This is Eric Altman, and today we're going to talk about Vodia IOP. Probably take about 10 or 15 minutes, run through some slides. We'll talk about some of the Vodia features as well. And then once we're done here, we'll open it up for questions if anybody has any questions on anything. So, agenda here, just introduced. My name is Eric Altman, sales engineer here at Vodia Networks. We'll talk about what is the Vodia IOP and the benefits of it. The industry-leading platform, the components that make up the IOP, an entry-level phone system, talk a little bit about some call management and UC features, as well as phone provisioning. So like I say, we'll do a brief overview of some of the features after we talk about the IOP, and then we'll open it up for all your questions. So Vodia Networks, privately owned US-based company headquartered in Boston. That's where I'm calling or talking to you from today. We develop and provide leading-edge software for enterprise communication solutions. And since 2006, we've empowered thousands of businesses worldwide by providing the latest cloud and on-premises IP PBX technology. Company CEO, Dr. Christian Stredica, an industry veteran and a successful entrepreneur. Some of you may know us from the days of PBX and SIP or SNOM1. Now we're Vodia. So what's the Vodia IOP? It's a small phone system, small as in size, run in the Vodia PBX software. And it's an inexpensive way to run a rock-solid phone system without breaking the bank. This is small enough. I mean, it's about the size of a credit card, size of a deck of cards, fit right under a desk or mounted on the wall. You got no more big, clunky server in the server room. You're taking up less power, so a lot lower power consumption with this. Solid state, there's no moving parts inside. And nice thing, it does come pre-licensed out of the box. So this thing's ready to go right when you set it up, right when you plug it in. You've already got a license in there to start making some calls. No complicated setup, pretty simple, just getting this thing going, and you're good to go. Plugs and plays, right out of the box. And like all of our, whether it's hosted or premises on a server, whatever it might be, we're always supporting the best SIP trunk providers and the best SIP desktop phones. So lots of choices there. We give you the choice to work with your preferred vendors as far as your SIP trunk provider, as well as the phones that you want to use on the system. Some of the benefits, like I mentioned, some of these do repeat, but we're talking about a solid state design, so there's no moving parts, compatible with all the popular SIP phones and trunks. There's an SD card in there that's going to give you enough for up to 10,000 hours of call recording. So you can do all kinds of call recording right on this box. SSH access can be enabled if you prefer to do it that way. And what's installed or what's pre-installed is the 4 simultaneous call license. So that's how we do our licenses with the premises-based PBX, is we do them simultaneous calls or concurrent calls, and you've got a 4 concurrent call license right in the box, which can support possibly up to 20 or 30 people, depending on how busy the actual calling is in that place. We can expand that, so it comes with the 4 standard. It can go up to 16 simultaneous calls with unlimited extensions. So we're not talking about extensions anymore. It's all based on concurrent calls. And this little box here can support up to 16 simultaneous calls, either in a standard, a pro, or enterprise version. Web interface access, so everything's done through the browser. It's an industrial strength 64 gig SD card inside of there, again, with no moving parts, and a small form factor for sure, low power consumption, and easy to manage. So lots of good benefits in this little system. It's designed to provide a centralized solution for communication needs of businesses. It's an entry-level PBX for users who want to experience VoIP for their business, but it doesn't have to just be for entry-level, that's for sure. Like I mentioned, it can support up to 20 or 30 users with that 4 concurrent call license. So that really just depends on the call activity, how many actual simultaneous calls are going on. You can expand that up to 8 or 16 concurrent calls. So the 4 is not enough. You can go to 8 or you can go to 16. Auto discovery, 0 configuration of the SIP endpoints. You've got gigabit network ports inside of there. There's a built-in call recording server, and the recordings are accessible via the web user interface. Also CDR recording for tracking phone usage by line or date, things like that. We support a multi-language auto attendant and call queue to efficiently handle incoming calls, and you've got the strongest possible security protection using SRTP, TLS, and HTTPS encryption. What is made up of here? The reliable components. We're running on an H2 quad-core Cortex A7, got 512 megs of RAM. It's powered by USB micro, so B. Capacity memory would be 64 gigs. You can see in the picture here, you've got the four screws will come with it, so that it can be wall mounted on those corners, or placed under a desk or in a bookcase. I mean, you can really put this anywhere. 10,000 hours of call recording, so quite a bit of call recording can be placed on here. And it's small and lightweight. We're talking 2 ounces here, so very lightweight. And it's not only a small device that fits anywhere in your office, but it has tons of features and an easy-to-use web interface, because this is the same software that's running if you were running it on a server or you're even running it hosted. So you've got the easy-to-use web interface. You've got the user portal, which supports WebRTC technology, so you can make and receive calls right from the browser. Customizable, we can white label here. The CSS templates allow you to change colors of buttons, all kinds of things, so you can put your logo and your customization all over this thing. Domain and admin login accessibility, so someone can have full admin rights, or someone can log in as a domain administrator without being able to touch some of the main system settings. Remote users can work off of this as well, IP phones. You've got automatic LAN phone provisioning, and for our SIP trunk providers, there is a built-in template, a drop-down, just to pick the provider, and it'll get it all set up for you. Just to go over through a few of the basic features that are available. One of them would be call park. When we talk about parking a call, you're putting it on hold, but it can be retrieved from somewhere else on the system. So it's not just put on hold on your own phone, putting on hold on the system in an orbit, and people can go and retrieve that call. The way to use it, there's a couple of ways to use it. You can just press pound 85, call's parked. You can also initiate a blind transfer to extension 700, and that will park the call. And then with the buttons on the phones, a button can be configured for park, so you just press that button and the call will be parked. Transfer, again, basic feature here, but it is there for both blind transfers and attended transfers. A blind transfer being that you just transfer the call, it's gone. You're not talking to anybody on the other side, you're just sending the call over to them. With an attended transfer, you're notifying the recipient. So you're going to put that person on hold, you're going to call the person you're transferring to while the first call is waiting. And then once you've got that person, you say, I've got so-and-so on the line for you. Okay, send it through. You connect the 2 calls, and you're done. You can also set up star codes for a lot of the features. One of them would be transfer. In the administrator, you'll see a screen like this where you can change it, or it will be defaulted at star 77, which will allow you to transfer the call just by doing that. Call recording is a big one. Recording is done here with the Pro versions. You can do manual recording, and an enterprise version, you can do automatic recording as well. They're going to be in a WAV format. They can be played and downloaded right from the web GUI. And automatic recording could be enabled for specific extensions, maybe ring groups, hunk groups, call queues, conference rooms, or specific trunks. So you can set it up to automatically record on any of those. And in searching it up, you can search by the caller ID or the agent that was on the call. Agent groups, another big one that's included, right in there. It supports lightweight call center features, call queue, switchboard and position announcements, which allows the caller to know where they are in the queue, giving them the option to either stay on the line waiting for their turn, or they can activate a callback, which will be initiated by the IOP once the agent is free. So it's lightweight call center features, but we've got some top features in there, especially that callback feature, which is real nice. It'll give you your position, your number 2, your approximate wait time, things like that. You've got statistics, live statistics that you can look at, right through the user interface switchboard for all agents, so they can all see that as well, and they can see if anybody's queued up or they've been waiting for a while, things like that. So it kind of takes hunt groups to the next level. And a conference server, another big feature that's included in here. It allows the moderator to have several people participating in a call. They can be defined there and have these types of features. It can be a public conference, anybody can join, or a private conference. Languages are offered on the start, so if you've got multilingual conference going on, it can be chosen which language. These can be scheduled, or it can just be an ad hoc conference, just start it up right there. You have the ability to record it as well, bridging in multiple parties. You can even send an email to invite people to this conference, and then once someone's in, there can be a moderator code. You can have it set so the conference won't even start till the moderators put in their code. And if you prefer, you can have the participants put in a code as well. So either let everybody join, or they have to have the participant code to join into the conference. So that's a conference bridge, again, built right in. Being able to monitor multiple conference rooms from the portal, or a button on the phone can be assigned to monitor a conference room. So you can monitor, listen in, monitor any accounts. So if there are certain people who you want to listen in on, maybe even whisper into their ear, we have that feature as well, or barge right into the call. You can do that also. It can all be done through the user portal. And on the phones, you're going to have a BLF button for monitoring as well. So BLF buttons, I think, is my next slide. Yes, busy lamp field. So Vodia is going to automatically assign the BLF on the phone, and it supports monitoring, calling, and picking up of the extension and accounts. So again, it can be agent group queue, it can be hunt group, it can just be a user, but that busy lamp field is going to light up, letting you know that they're on the phone. You can monitor it. And again, you can use that button to actually call or to pick up those extensions. And just showing you down here how you would set up some of the buttons on your phone. And LAN provisioning. Vodia makes it easier to provision your phone devices on the LAN. In order for it to show on this LAN page in the administrator, you just have to reset the phone to factory default. Then it'll pick it up. You'll see the MAC address, you'll see the vendor, all that information. Just click on the setup button and off you go. You've got that phone provisioned. Vodia IOP, better phone system for your business. Thank you guys for listening to me here, and I want to open it up for any questions that anybody might have on the IOP or anything about the Vodia system. I believe probably the best way to do it is through the chat. So if you have any questions, just throw it in. Let's see, do you have NFR units for new customers? They can receive an NFR license. As far as NFR units for the IOP, not sure that we have it set up that way, but you can get an NFR license coming on as a reseller, so that you can have a system that you can work with and test with. Discounts are going to be the same across the board. So on the IOP, you're going to get the same. So someone asked, what's the discount? You're going to get the same discount that you would get on any of our other products. That's going to be 20% off of list price. So whether it's the IOP or just the standard licenses, it's going to be same discount. So it's asking if Outlook add-in to facilitate click-to-dial from Outlook contacts. That can be done as well. So again, the IOP is the same as the other systems as far as the software goes. So everything goes, everything you can do. If you were putting this just on a server, you can do it on the IOP as well. Is there a list with the VoIP features available with 4 concurrent calls? So there is. So when we talk about the features on the system and the way that we do this now with the concurrent calls, so there's a spot on the website. So if you go to Vodia.com and you'll see a little products up on the top, and you choose the software, you will see an actual list of the features for standard, for pro, and for enterprise. You can just go to Vodia.com CPE. If you do that, that'll take you right to that. Scroll down just a drop, and you'll see the matrix there, which shows you what's included with the standard, what's included with a Pro, and what's included with the Enterprise Edition. Next question I have: do internal calls between extensions count towards the concurrent call license? Three-way conferences. So concurrent calls are both inbound calls, outbound calls, and internal calls. So if you're picking up the phone and you're on a call, whether it's an internal call or an external call, that is going to count towards your concurrent calls. So that's something that definitely has to be thought about when you're deciding whether you want to do this as 4 or 8 or 16. Someone's asking about getting NFR IOP units. Something you could work with 888 VoIP on. I'm sure they could help you with something like that. What's the process to provision a remote extension? Is it necessary to open any special ports in the router for remote extension to be able to function outside of the LAN? 5060 is going to have to be open. Your typical SIP port would have to be open in order to have the remote extensions on there. Does it support analog adapters? Absolutely. That can be plugged in, an ATA, Cisco SPA, patent. You know, we work with all of those. So absolutely. Again, this is a phone system. It is a server. It's just sitting inside a thing that's the size of a credit card. So anything we can do with the other systems, you can do here, except for probably, you know, going beyond the 16. Okay, and just for anybody who's joining us internationally, as far as purchasing the Vodia IOP, that can be done right through our website, Vodia.com. For those in the U.S., you can work with 888 VoIP and get it distributed from there. But if you're in Europe, just go to Vodia.com. You'll see a buy button on there, and you can actually purchase the IOP right from there. Next question, are billing reports available? No billing reports available with this. We have CDR reports, but not billing reports. Yeah, so you can have a CDR report, reporting on extensions, reporting on specific lines, things like that, but not actual billing reports. Next question, when using SNOM phones, what's the syntax for the user to access the phone via the web interface? It's text-based. When you provision the phone, you'd set that up. You would go into the provisioning parameters, and that's where you can put all that in. And again, if you need any help, feel free to call us. We can walk you through that. And from Canada, is that an international purchase? Okay, so Canada would actually be done through 888 VoIP. So when I talk to international, outside of North America, basically. I keep firing them away. I'm here. Any other questions? I got through that full chat here. Let's see if I missed anything. Looks like I believe I answered all the questions that have come in. I'll give it another minute or two just to see if anybody else has anything else. All right, it's looking a little quiet, so I'm thinking that you guys all have the answers that you need. Obviously, feel free to contact us, 617-446-1399. We're happy to help you with any of your questions. One other quick question. So we've got hardware specs, 1 gig Ethernet. I mean, it is gigabit ports, so yes. And actually, everything's on Vodia.com. We have the specs listed on there. So if you go to the IOP page, you'll see all the technical specs are down there. Version upgrades possible in the future? Absolutely. We're running the version on here, and as we upgrade our versions, whether it's through the IOP or through just the other premises equipment, you can upgrade. The subscription obviously allows you to upgrade the software to the latest version. Is Vodia installed on the SD card? Yes, Vodia is. It's pre-installed and ready to go. Automatic backups to a USB drive. Yeah, I mean, again, everything can be done and it can be downloaded. So no problem with that. The cost to keep the software on the 4 simultaneous call version of the Vodia IOP current. There's no cost for the 4 simultaneous call version, so it will stay current. Technically, when you have the 4 concurrent call, that is, when we talk about the concurrent calls, you can either do it as an annual subscription or as a permanent license. So the 4 simultaneous call that's preloaded is considered annual subscription. So anything that comes out as far as new software, you would have the ability to upgrade it to the latest version. The USB port only for power or also for communication? Just power. Okay, and also I just want to update, I had said you could back up to USB drive. Currently, that is not the case. So just want to make sure you are aware that there's no USB backup right now. Obviously coming in the future, yes, further development. Okay, I think that probably will do it. Like I said, feel free to call us. You can also email us, sales@vodia.com. That will get to all the people in the sales department. So if you got any questions, let us know. We'll be happy to answer them. If we need to bring in support, if it's too technical, we'll do that as well. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays. I appreciate you joining this call today. And again, feel free to contact us if you got any other questions or anything else that we can do for you. Thank you, Peter, for complimenting my presentation. All right, have a great day, everybody.